A ton of new players have been flocking to Fields of Mistria, even though the game is still in early access, so I thought that as somebody who has played over 100 days in this game, I would come up with a bunch of helpful tips for people who are just starting to play. The calendar is your best friend. Before you do anything in Fields of Mistria, make sure that you are regularly checking this calendar. Not only will it show you everybody's birthday with a convenient picture of their face on the day that they were born, but there are also seasonal events that happen in the town that can give you special items or rewards, so you want to make sure you're keeping an eye on that. And there are also some recurring events that happen weekly, and that is Friday nights at the inn, which takes place every single Friday. And I personally think this is the fastest way to level up your relationships and hearts with every character in this game, because everybody's in the same place at once. And I would like to point out that I've gotten my hearts up with so many characters that I have never given a gift to. So look at Baylor, never given him a single gift, and I'm already at 4 out of 6 hearts. And the day after that is the Saturday market. There are 4 vendors at the Saturday market who will set up stalls in the town square, and they have completely different items. These range anywhere from furniture to cosmetics, and the prices don't change. It's the same price every week, but the stock and what they have in their stores will rotate weekly. Darcy runs a stand that sells a bunch of different coffees and drinks and desserts, kind of like a mobile cafe. She will also sell some recipes. Vera specializes in cosmetics, and she has different hairstyles and accessories for players. Mary sells a bunch of furniture and decorations. She has a bunch of recipes for some cool sets, such as the Haunted Attic set, picnic decor, bakery decor, and bathroom. Lewis is the resident traveling fashionista who was banished from the main city for some reason and is here selling his stuff. I don't know why he was banished from the capital, but he specializes in clothing and different outfits and accessories, and all of his stuff costs 500. The Fields of Mistria wiki I'll leave a link to in the description of this video, but it shows every single item that you can get from all of these vendors. And again, these will rotate every week, and this is a really helpful guide, so I hope you check it out. Be sure and go to the inn almost daily, because inside the inn, right as you walk inside and go through the double doors, if you go straight back, there's actually a giant pot of soup, and every single day there is a different soup, and today's is corn chowder. But this soup actually will restore your health and stamina. So you definitely want to click yes that you want a bowl. And look at that. You eat the soup and you get a boost. In order to restore your stamina more quickly, if you don't want to wait for it to refill on its own, there are different consumables that you can either craft, be gifted, or purchase at different vendors throughout the city that will actually restore your health and stamina. Obviously, the more expensive the dish, the more it will restore. And speaking to different characters throughout the town, they will just randomly give you items, especially at Friday night at the inn. And Raina especially, she gives you food all the time. So make sure you are talking to characters if you want to get some stuff that you don't have to pay for or craft on your own. And the last way that you can restore some stamina is actually through clear water fountains. And these are located not only in the beach, but on the east and west side in the forest as well. When you're foraging, you're going to run across these, and if you need a little boost, take a sip and it will restore you. Forage as often as you can the first year in every single season. There are so many seasonal collectibles that are extremely rare. These can be anything from flowers and herbs, but having a good stockpile of all of these things will help you level up the town and also your relationships with other characters so much faster. In addition to seasonal plants and seasonal animals, there are a ton of different fish that come at different seasons, and the weather can actually affect what fish you are getting as well. So if you go fishing when it's raining, you could find totally different species than when you go when it's sunny. Also, the river here will have many different species compared to the ocean where the beach is, and also to the left of Aiden's farm that is also ocean. So the fastest way to get to the ocean is just running left all the way past Hayden's farm, and right here, this is ocean waters, and there is something big in there that I definitely want a chance to try to fish. And again, this will be a completely different type of fish than you can get in the water when you're in the middle of town. In town, there will be a job board, and you can find that between the general store and the mill. This board will be full of a ton of different requests, and these will keep piling up daily. You will get new requests from villagers. And this is why foraging is so important the first year, because they will ask you for the most random items. Sometimes it could be something that you have to make from a farm, for example, the golden butter that you can see here. And sometimes it's completely random. It can be something from the mines, it can be something that you have to actually make. And they do ask for a lot of seasonal things, such as fish that you can find in the river during certain months, or sometimes even things that you grow. Now here's the kicker. You cannot get rid of a quest once you accept it, so do not accept a quest unless you have the item or can easily access the item. Completing requests not only rewards you tesserae, but it also increases the town's renown rank. The town rank changes as you gain renown, which is one of the things that completing quests will give you. But increasing your town rank, you gain rewards and new aspects of the town are unlocked. So we start in the game at renown level 0, which is wood tier. But currently, since the game is still in early access, the highest level we can reach is renown level 70, which is the emerald level. And here are some of the rewards that you can get. As you can see here, you could get tesserae, certain cosmetics. My favorite things are the permanent stamina boosts. I would also like to point out that a really helpful tip is not turning in your quests individually. It's waiting until the Friday or Saturday market to turn all of your quests in at once, because everybody's in the same location. So if you're running short on time, that's a really good way to sort of just do it quickly. When you start Fields of Mistria, you do have the ability to jump over things, so that's something very important to remember. But you can also use it to jump from one level to another, which is something I found super helpful. You can also jump in and out of riverbanks, out of waterways. You can also jump over things in the mines as well. So if you're stuck behind some crystals or some rocks, just do a little jump and you'll be able to get away from it. If you want the ability to jump on your sword, which is very useful for clearing large amounts of brush, or if you're down in the mines, you can actually use it to deter enemies, to keep you safe from attacks, and to also kill certain types of enemies that can't be attacked any other way. You have to go inside the mines and upgrade it at the Dragon Shrine here. The Dragon Shrine at your farm, Calderis, will not give you the ability to upgrade your sword or your weapons. So here's the skill area. You have combat and mining that you can only get in the mines. And in tier 1 combat, here is the jump attack. So jumping and attacking midair will damage enemies in a small radius. That is where you unlock this. And I recommend unlocking this as quickly as possible because it is so much help when you're in the mine. Combat in this game involves fighting monsters that are in the mines, and you can attack with weapons, or you can also go on the defense and protect yourself with armor. Both of those things you create doing the blacksmithing. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to upping your blacksmith levels so you can progress further in the mines and also create some better armor and items and tools for yourself on your farm. Every enemy that you encounter in the mine will have a different attack style. So make sure you are observant to see what kind of approach you should have on your defense. There are some characters where you will have to jump on top of your sword to knock them over, like the mushroom, for example. There are characters like this little lantern guy that you can see here, and you have to attack him when he isn't charged. There are also characters that spit little rocks that you need to hit like a baseball bat and time it properly. Or if you're not brave like me, you can just jump on your sword over and over and spam it to avoid actual combat. But the same approach will not work for everything. One size does not fit all, so make sure you're paying attention to the attack patterns of your enemies. Speaking of mines, there is a lot of in-game lore that you can only unlock by progressing through the mines. So I know some people really don't like mining. I know it can be a pain, but make this a big priority. The first bit of lore we see about this starts at level 20 in the mines. You have to find certain items that you collect all over the game. So not only in the mines, but outside when you're foraging as well. So again, also why foraging is very important the first year. And then here at level 40, this is where you get a second bit of lore. And I'm not going to spoil it in this video, but again, you will need some collectibles that are seasonal from around the map and in the mines. So having that stockpile is very helpful, but this is a really amazing quest line. So make sure you guys are progressing through the mines to get all of the depths of the lore of the game as well. Do not stay up too late in this game. I know it's tempting and time goes by quickly, but if you are, for example, super late into the mines and you know you're not going to make it back on time, there are consequences for staying up too late. There will be some characters that call you out on this as well. You will see dialogue with characters if you're staying up late all the time. But when you are too tired to continue, you do take a hit the next day. So as you can see, it is the next day after I fell asleep in the mine, and I wake up a little bit grumpy and say this dialogue, I overslept. And look at this, I start my day with a huge deficit on both my health and my stamina. But your mana doesn't take a hit, so that's very helpful. And mana we use for magic spells. My next little tip for you new players is that you do have magic in this game. Leveling up gives you the ability to cast spells that grow crops faster. You can even change the weather to rainy so you don't have to water your crops. And there is another spell called the Full Restore, and this restores all of your stamina and your HP when you cast it. The Full Restore and Summon Rain only cost 1 mana, and growth costs 2. To use your spells, you want to click the pin spell button. And since I started out with a deficit, that's the one I'm going to use today. So I have it pinned. I'm going to press C and look at that fully restored health and stamina. And based on my crystal ball here, it tells me the weather. I know that it's going to be sunny tomorrow. So if I want to go ahead and pin a different spell here, the summon rain on a sunny day, if you've just planted a bunch of crops, is so helpful because you will never have to water your crop. So today it is not raining. I wanted to show you guys the summon rain spell. So I went ahead to my inventory. I have it equipped here. And here we go. Let's get some rain on the Kuromi farm. So even though these are full grown, I don't need to water these tulips. I just wanted to show you guys how the spell works and show you guys how easy it is. If you have a massive plot like this, that will make your life so simple and you can complete those farming chores really quickly. Now let's talk about romance. We already know the main mechanic of romance in this game is upping your hearts with every character, and because the game is still in early access, a lot of the romanceable storylines are locked. So that means we can't experience the entire storyline, we can't take it all the way to the end. But there are currently so many romanceable characters in the game, and I'll do videos talking about them more in depth, but you can follow me on TikTok. I do a bunch of short form content on the dialogue of these characters. So if you don't know who you want to start romancing and you want a guide, check me out there. But every single character in this game can be romanced by characters of any gender, so you're not limited in terms of that. To up your hearts with characters, you can do a couple of things. There is the free way, the easy way, which is you just speak to them every day. But to up your level faster and to get your hearts to the max level, giving gifts is very helpful. Every character has different items that they like, and then there are items that they love. So a loved item will give you an extra boost. I will leave a link in the description of this video of guides that showcase all of the different items that you can give characters. Celine is definitely the easiest. Some characters like March or Ulrich, they like ores or things that you have to go out and mine, but it really just depends on the character. Characters also have hated items, so I would definitely look up a guide before you just start giving random items to random characters, because that might actually hurt your relationship with them. As of the latest update on November 19th, you can reach up to 6 hearts with each character. Special cutscenes will trigger when you reach 4 hearts, and again it's 6 hearts. The new update also brought a brand new festival that happens on the last day of summer. It's called the Shooting Star Festival, and you can only invite characters that you have 4 hearts with already, otherwise they will reject you. This event is the biggest relationship milestone that we have so far in this phase of early access, and going to this festival with a character that you're interested in is supposed to link your destinies. They will actually display the item that you give them when you invite them in their houses afterwards, so you want to make sure you're choosing the character that you want to progress your romantic relationship with. You can even romance the dragon. I just want you guys to know that any character with a heart by their name means they are a potential love option. I don't know why Ulrich isn't an option. The fandom is fuming over that, but there are so many great options in this town. The last thing I want to talk about briefly, we are headed over to the barn for, because I want to talk to you guys about farm animals in this game, how they work, and some helpful tips and tricks. So you can go ahead and set a bunch of feed out for your animals in the barn, which means you don't have to feed them by hand. But there is a unique benefit to doing that. So when you feed your animals by hand, oftentimes they will drop what is called a shiny bead. And every single animal that you feed by hand will drop one. So you want to collect those. And as you can see here, I'm just going ahead and finishing giving them all the hay. And if you're like, hey, what the heck do I do with these things? They're cute and all, but I can't find anywhere where I can buy things with them. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to run out of your farm, go to the left. The left is Hayden's farm. So you want to run to the left, run past his house, and keep on running, because over to the left is a Henrietta statue. You see this beautiful statue? So here's a mysterious looking chicken statue. We're going to throw 10 beads in. And here's what happens when you give her 10 beads. She actually pops out some items. So this is a duck sun hat. You can unlock this cosmetic, and this is actually a cosmetic for your barn animal. The rest of the cosmetics that you can purchase are actually over in Hayden's shop. When you go in the shop right here, he will have different items. So there's the chicken earmuffs, the chicken top hat, the yellow chicken bow, a chicken cowboy hat, a cow crown, and pink cow sunglasses. So if you want to put a cosmetic on one of your animals, like I have on my cow right here, you're going to walk up to your animal and hit Q for inspect. You can see here is Jelly Bean right there, and there's a pink button right here that you click, and it will show the cosmetics that you have. I only have a bow for my cow right now, so that's the only one I can select. But that is how you equip all of your cosmetics for your barn animals. Now you also want to make sure that you are petting and interacting with your barn animals every single day, because that is how you'll up your heart levels with all of them as well. And you want to have high hearts with your animal, because once you level those up, you can actually ride some of your barn animals like mounts, including your cow, your horses. So interacting with your animals is never a waste of time. There are so many great things that come from doing that. I hope that these tips and tricks for new players was helpful. And if you guys are jumping into this game, I hope you have a great time playing. It's honestly my favorite farming sim, and I find it so much more enjoyable than Stardew Valley or the other games it gets compared to. This is just my personal opinion though, but I hope that these tips and tricks were super helpful. In the meantime, as the game progresses and it gets out of early access and we are seeing more updates, I will definitely keep you guys posted with all the news. But if you're on the fence about playing this game, please pick it up because it is so much fun. Make sure you're subscribed for more Fields of Mistria and cozy gaming, and I'll see you in the next video, humans. Goodbye.